So a few people have asked me whether they can use Blackboard Collaborate to host and run online meetings as well as teaching sessions, and the answer is yes. I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, if you go to chef.ac.uk and log into Muse in the normal way, under My Services, if you go to what's currently called Blackboard in brackets Mole, it'll soon change to just Blackboard. Go into there, wait a few seconds while Mole Blackboard loads, and when it finally does, mine's taking a while right now, you need to go to Organisations, okay, on the left menu, and then you need to find something called the staff room. Now most people should be able to just see it there because they probably won't have too many organisations that they're enrolled on, so click on that. If not, you can just search using the search box up here. Go into the staff room. We've enrolled about 280 staff on the staff room, so you should have access. If you find that you can't see that staff room in your organisations, get in touch with me, Dan or James, and we'll enrol you. We've tried to get everybody on, but there may be some people who've slipped through the net for some reason. So anyway, once you get access and you get in there, you'll see something called Blackboard Collaborate Ultra on the first screen. If you just click on that link and then do a little bit more waiting, you're better to see the staff room here. Duncan Chambers has already got a meeting set up. If you want a meeting here, all you need to do is click on Create Session, okay? And then you get a few options on the right. So give it a name. So let's call it My Meeting. I recommend putting something meaningful in here that will tie it to you or your particular meeting. So I wouldn't put My Meeting in. That's a really bad idea. So maybe put Luke's Meeting or whatever. Maybe the project title. There's a few options you can look at here. So for example, there's a dial-in option, so people can actually use a landline to join, which is good. You can give them that. You can also specify what the role is of the person that's coming into the webinar that you create. So you'll be sending them all a link. External people can join. You'll be sending them a link, and you can choose what sort of role. So if it's like a staff meeting and everybody needs to be able to talk, you might want to go with presenter. When you've done that, click on presenter. You can copy this guest link. That is the link. It's now on my clipboard. That's the link that you'll send out to all of the people that you want to invite. And then you've got something called event details here. So you can either have it always open. So if you click on this box, no end, you can have it's always open. People can pop in using the link that you've sent them at any time. So this is a good way of doing it because you can have it open all the time. You can just send people requests. So come in here on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, everybody, and we'll meet. They can go in on a Wednesday or a Thursday as well, but there'll be nobody there, so you can just schedule when to go in. The alternative to that is that you don't click open session and you have specific start and end times here, but you're restricting access there and people can't go in and sort of test that they can use it properly beforehand. So I normally would advise people to actually just have it open all the time. There's no real great harm in doing that. You can say, can people go in early? So that really only applies if you're scheduling specific times. Then onto the session settings. There's probably not much you need to change here. So the default attendee role, again, I would change that to presenter if you want them to come into presenter. One thing that's quite useful is this allowed recording download. So I tend to tick that because if you record a session or a meeting, whatever it is, what the default option is that it basically gives you a link. You can then share that link with the people who came or those that didn't, and they can stream it back and watch it, but it is streamed. If you want people to be able to download and have an offline version of that recording, you need to tick this box. Perhaps not so useful if it's a staff meeting, unless you really want a record, although we don't record sort of face-to-face meetings, so I'm not sure that's useful. And I think you probably don't need to change any of the settings. Then you can just click save. So remember, up here you've clicked on the link by the guest link. That's the thing that you're going to send out to the people you want to come. Copied that, click save, and then basically when it comes to joining, you just need to click on these three dots again and join the session. Okay, and it will take you in there, and anybody else who's clicked on that link that you've sent them will be able to come in too and join the session.